or the YouTube family. I do have another vision to share. It's about sister, somebody I knew of very dearly, and she did pass back in 21 in July. As I looked at her obituary, I didn't even know she had passed until I Googled her name one day, and her address, and I saw pictures of condolences and more, and I began to ask myself out loud and in my head, after I saw her obituary and everything, the thought that she made it. Did she make it? Okay, I don't know why I was really asking myself that, but that's another story. But I did ask the one and true, that knew if she made it or not. And people, I need you to understand something. I need you to understand something. You can always ask. You can always ask the Lord Himself as well too. When you have a specific calling on your life, when you are to do something or anything for the Father that He's calling you to do specifically, you must do that specifically in the way He needs you to do that specifically. To better explain that, she was a very dear, like I said, very dear friend of mine as well. And she was supposed to be a prophetess, but she was a bishop. What the world referred to her as that. Now, I never been to the church. I know she did fairly well, but I never been to the church. And I wish I had. Maybe if I would have been there, I probably would have been able to get into more detail about that, but I can't really speak on it. So I can't really speak on that. But what the Lord has shared with me about her is that she didn't make it. Just to get into that, no, she didn't make heaven. And I know her brochure and at her funeral, a lot of people at her church are probably putting her there, but they need to really stop and really, if they really were reading their Bible and really knew their Bible and really knew the contents of the Lord and what He expects, they wouldn't be put somewhere trying to put nobody anywhere. So with that being said, she didn't make it, and I was talking out loud to the Lord one day and asking about that. We talk every day, several times a day, and I wouldn't have it no other way. But most importantly, no, she didn't make it. She didn't make it because she did not do what He specifically called her to do, and He did not call her to preach, to be a preacher. And the scripture for that, 1 Timothy 3rd chapter 2-5, as well as friendship with the world, she was popular. But apparently there was still some things that she did not do that He required her to, because she would have made it. I'm going to share this vision, and this is to the family, Simpson family. This is no disrespect towards y'all of any kind, but the Father's calling me to do this and put this out there, because I did ask Him, and He shared a lot of details about why she did not make it. And you can take it whichever way you choose to, but I'm going to give you the truth. And she didn't make it based on some of these things He mentioned to me about the weaves, the hair. She was the weaves and the hair, and she straightened the hair a lot, and that's not allowed. And the jewelries and all of that, and it's like she was popular outside of what he called her not to be, which was the preacher, and she was called to be the prophetess instead. And that's one of the other reasons too she did not make heaven, from what he said also, because can't no sin into heaven. So those are errors that should have been corrected prior to her passing. And from her before her passing, those errors should have been corrected, and they weren't corrected. So, from based on that, I see why she did not make it. And despite that is between her and the Lord, she, yeah, there are a lot. There are people in the churches and even at the funeral that are placing her in heaven, and that's not where she's at. That's not where she's at. So, regardless of feelings, and regardless of that, and it don't give me no my heart no justice to say that, because I'm thinking she probably would have made it too. But after asking God all these details, no, she didn't make it. She didn't make it. I did see in a vision with her, and y'all, this could have, I think this was more like at the second coming. At the second coming, she had knew before God and stood before him. All good, all bad, and all that was shown to her in Ecclesiastes 12:13 through 14. God is going to pull out everything, good, bad, ugly, that anything in secret, anything that's evil. We'll pull that out. Thoughts too. She was given a chance to speak. And you could ask a little more about this in detail as well. And then he asked what's her name in the book of life. Asked Gabriel was the name in the book of life. And it was not. He told her she had to depart because can't no sin into heaven. And heaven is a place of holiness. The angels are holy. He is perfect. And they can't be in the presence of sin. Which is true. So this is to say that she did not make heaven. And she did not make heaven based on being the bishop. God is not just looking at the heart inside of people, and people will use that excuse to its extent and out of context. He's looking at not only the inside, but he's also looking at the outside of everything too as well. So from head to toe, inside and out, he takes a fine tooth comb just to check everything. So keep that in mind. So Sister Simpson did not make it. If y'all want to know more about this, y'all can ask the Father yourselves. But he doesn't call women to be preachers, a prophetess, evangelists, those things. I believe she could have been a prophetess. I'm not sure, but as far as to take over and be the bishop, he's not calling a woman to be that. And a lot of women do get offended by that, and that's their choice. But that's in His Word. It is written. 1 Corinthians 14:34, 1 Timothy 3rd chapter 2 through 5, and he also mentioned in the scripture in James 4:4, well, friendship with the world is an enemy of God. So from what I got understood from that was she was more popular through the number of the membership, but not the way he expected it. So you want to keep that in mind as well too. the torments and all that. I didn't see. That's not what I saw, and it's not here in my notes either. So, with that being said, that is what happened with Sister Simpson. Again, you can always ask the Father yourself in detail. He'll tell you. If he tells me, he will tell you too. Okay, people, have a blessed day. That was the update about that. She died. She died almost 3 years ago, which I didn't know that. And I did comment under her obituary. But for all else, get your life right today and make sure you're doing what the Father is requiring you to do in all detail that He requires. Be blessed.